So it's the general AP. So the first term is A and the common difference is D. So first term is usually general AP. So the usual convention definition is A, and then common difference. What is common difference? Common difference is D. In fact, we can say the common difference is nothing but next term to any current term, right? I mean any term, actually it's any current term minus current term. Therefore, if you are going to take a current term, for example, if you take the third term as the current term, next term is fourth term. So fourth term minus third term is going to be D. So that is what we call common difference, and here difference can be, I mean, positive or negative, but not 0. So D is not going to be 0. Usually it is either positive or negative. Fine. So the first term is A and the common difference is D, which is next term to any current term minus current term. Okay. So the AP could be finite or infinite. Okay. So let us first concentrate on how to find the nth term. So let us derive the formula for the nth term. So Tn is the nth term of the AP. Fine. Okay, let us see how we can find. The first term is A, the second term is A plus 1D, the third term is A plus 2D. So this is your first term T1, this is T2, T2 is A plus D, T3 is A plus 2D, T4 is A plus 3D. That means when you go from T1 to T4 in steps, you are pushing by D's. So if you go directly, there will be 3 terms involved. So 3 D's has to be pushed. I mean the D can be positive or negative. So the first term is pushed by 3 D's to get fourth term and 2 D's to get the third term. So if you want to get a nth term, how many D's you must push? It is n minus 1 D's, because you already start from A and you are going to push some n minus 1 D's. So you will get n minus 1 more terms, and since we have already one term, so the nth term is going to be A plus n minus 1 into D. So that is going to be the nth term. So that is the formula for Tn. So Tn is nothing but A plus n minus 1 into D. So if you know the AP and A is known, D is known, you want to find the nth term, for example 20th term, T20 equals to A plus 20 minus 1 into D, 19D. If you want to find the 30th term, T30 is equals to A plus 30 minus 1D, that is 29D. So this is the formula to find the nth term. Okay, so the arithmetic progression, there are 2 types. One is a finite AP and the other one is infinite AP, infinite arithmetic progression. So the finite AP is going to contain finite number of terms. It's going to end, it is going to start with some term and end with a term, whereas infinite AP is going to start with a term, and you know what is the rule for arithmetic progression. It is going to constantly increase or decrease, but it's not going to end. Therefore, let us concentrate on finite AP. Let the first term be A, second term is A plus D, third term is A plus 2D, and so on. Let the last term be defined as L. So L stands for what? Last term, and A stands for, say, first term, and we know D is the common difference, that is any next term minus current term is going to be D. So let us assume that this AP contains, say, n terms. So exactly n terms are present in this AP. So the first term is A, second term is A plus D, third term is A plus 2D, and the last term is L, and it contains the n terms, which means L is nothing but the nth term, right? Tn, which is A plus n minus 1 into D. So in the case of finite AP, last term is nothing but the nth term, which is A plus n minus 1 into D. From this, we can actually say n is equals to L minus A by D plus 1. It's because L minus A is n minus 1 times D, L minus A by D is going to be n minus 1. So n is equal to L minus A by D plus 1, last term minus first term by the common difference plus 1. So that is the formula for number of terms of a finite AP, where you know the first term, you know the last term, you know how it is progressing. Progressing means common difference is given, we can find the number of terms. And of course infinity AP, there is no last term, therefore we don't have the formulas. But if you want to find number of terms till some term, we can use this formula. We can believe that term can be thought as a finite AP is a part of an infinite AP. So that term, when you take the finite size, and that term might be the last term or nth term. So n is equal to L minus A by D plus 1 can be used for even a part of an infinite AP or a finite AP whose first term is A and last term is L. So this is one formula to find the number of terms of a finite AP. So here you see is this is like the window grills, right? So from window grills we can realize the number of terms of an arithmetic progression. So let us see, let us take this first frame. You have two grills in the window and you can see there is only one gap, right? That is, when you have two grills you have one gap. When you are going to have three window grills, you can see that there are two gaps. There is a gap between the first grill and the second grill, second and the third. So you can see again, if you have four grills, four window grills, then you have one gap, that is the gap between first and the second, another gap second and the third, another gap between third and the fourth. So you have a formula like this: number of grills, that is window grills, is equal to number of gaps. So when you say the gaps, it means these gaps. So if the number of gap is 1 here, the grills is 2. The number of gaps is 2 here, the number of grills is 3. The number of gaps is 3 here, the number of grills is 4. So we have a presence of mind formula. It's very simple. When you see a window grills 3, there are 2 gaps. See window grills 4, you see 3 gaps. So number of gaps plus 1 is equal to number of window grills. Okay, fine. But in what way it is connected to the arithmetic progression? So now you see that there are more grills, this is so on. We are going to the, this is first frame, second frame and third frame with 2 grills, 3 grills and 4 grills. But if you keep on proceeding like that, you can have more grills and more gaps. Okay, so let this be the first grill. This is the first one, right? This is the second, and this is the third, and this is the fourth, and so on. And let this be the last grill. This is the last but one, right? So we don't know how many grills are there, but we know that the gap is going to be, let me call this as G, and this gap is going to be G, and therefore the gap between, usually the gap between two next to next grills is going to be the same, right? Let us assume the same way. So first and second grill have a gap of G, second and third have a gap of G, third and fourth have a gap of G, and the last and the previous grill is going to have a G, and so on. Okay, fine. So if I am going to take this as some number from the ground level, it is at a height of say A, and the last grill, let us assume that it is the height of L, then you can see that last grill minus grill, this height is going to be what? L minus A, right? This is going to be L minus A, and what is going to be the number of gaps, right? L minus A is going to give you this. So for example, if you are going to subtract from this minus this, and that gives you 1G, right? But we want the number of gaps, means you have to divide by G. So if you are going to subtract from here to here, you get 2G. If you divide by G, you get 2. So you want to get the number of gaps, what you must do is L minus A by G, right? And that is the number of gaps, plus 1 is going to be N. That is going to be the number of grills, right? This you can interpret with the arithmetic progression. Instead of G, if you are going to take D, is the common difference. Here it is increasing D, like that. So if you are going to plug in the formula here, L minus A by D plus 1 is equal to N, which we have already seen. Therefore, from window grills also you can realize arithmetic progressions formula, that number of terms of an AP, finite AP, is last term minus first term divided by the common difference. In this case is the gap and one more that. Therefore, you can realize arithmetic progression from window grills. Okay, let us try to find the sum of the first n terms of an AP. So, let an AP as a finite AP, a plus d, a plus 2d and so on up to the last term L. So, this is a finite AP, correct? It is a finite AP of how many terms? N terms. We already know how n is connected to this a and L, and d, n is equals to L minus a by d plus 1. But we are now going to concentrate on this AP. We want to find the sum of, in fact, all the terms of a finite AP. So, from the first till the last. So, that is going to be, let it be given by, so let us assume this to be S. So, S is equal to A plus D plus A plus 2D is the third term and so on, and the last but one term is L minus D and L. So, these are the terms, right? And you want to add all these things, fine. Point is, I can rewrite S like this. In fact, I can write this addition of terms in any order, the sum is not going to change. So, what I am going to do is to just write the last term in the front and the first term in the last, and I am going to just write the reverse of this addition, whatever we have in the previous equations right hand side. Therefore, we are going to have a L coming first and then L minus D, and what is the previous term? Here you have put so on, therefore, the previous is going to be D less than this L minus D, that is L minus 2D and so on. So, if you keep on decreasing D's, what happens is all the the terms in the front will go back, terms in the back will come front. That is what is happening here. Therefore, the last two terms going to be the first two terms in the reverse order. So, A plus D will come here and A will come here, right. The advantage is, since you are going to increase this by D and this one L is decreased by D, when you increase a number by something and decrease the other one by something, the sum is not going to change. For instance, you are going to have some amount of, say, marbles on left hand and right hand. If you are going to transfer some marbles from the right hand to left hand, this is going to decrease, that is going to increase, but the sum will not change. So, imagine that way, and therefore, what happens is, if you are going to add vertically, what happens is this corresponding sum is going to be the same. In the beginning it was A plus L and so on, it is going to be A plus L. So, that is the plan because of which we have reverted. Now, if you are going to add, you get 2S, and what is going to be this? A plus L. And what about this? That is again going to be A plus L, because only thing is A increased by D, L decreased by D, the sum is not going to change. Here 2D is the increase and decrease. So, again you get A plus L, and you are going to get A plus L throughout, which is nothing but repeated addition of A plus L. Therefore, if you want to find the sum, this repeated addition happens how many times? Since the finite AP contains n terms, therefore, this is the first term, this together is the second term. That is why I put a bar here, and this is the third term, and this is the last but one term, this is the last term, this is the nth term. Therefore, since you are adding vertically, there are n results coming. This is the first result, second, third, fourth, all are same. This is the nth result. Therefore, repeated addition is multiplication n into A plus L, but this is 2S, we want S. Therefore, this is nothing but n into A plus L by 2, and that is the sum of all the terms of a finite AP whose first term is A, common difference is D, and last term is L. So, here you see a rectangle where we can realize the sum of the all the terms of a finite AP, right. Let us take this is made up of some rectangles. In the first row you have, let us assume the width to be 1. So, here all the widths are going to be 1, okay, till the last, fine. So let us take this length to be A, that is the first term of the AP. So this area is going to be A, right? This is going to be A and this is going to be L. Therefore, this area is going to be L. Clear? Fine. Now, if you are going to add a D length, see you can see the first row you have two rectangles and the width is going to be 1, the length is A, here the length is going to be L. A is the first term of the AP and L is the last term of the AP, right? So, you have a area A and area L. Now, if you are going to increase by D, this is going to be D. So, this length is going to be A plus D, right? Because this is going to be D and in fact, it is going to increase by D, right? That is how we are going to take. And what happens here, the D is increased for this length, but this length you see the D is decreased. Therefore, this is going to have a length L minus D. Therefore, the area is 1 into A plus D, that is A plus D, and 1 into L minus D is L minus D. And the next occasion when you are going to increase by D, the length is increased by D, it goes from A plus D to A plus 2D. This becomes L minus D to L minus 2D. So, what happens is you get A plus 2D here, you get L minus 2D here, and then this is going to be A plus 3D and this is L minus 3D, and you can see the sum is going to be the same because this length is going to be the same, this is going to be 1. So, the areas will go on like that and so on, and this is going to be the nth division, nth row, where this is the last term. Okay. So, the last term is going to be L over here, and what will happen here, this becomes A, because when you are going to increase as many D's and reach L, similarly L is diminished by D's and it will reach A. So, what happens is the entire rectangle is going to be having a width of 1s. How many 1s makes this? Because there are n terms in the finite AP, this is going to be the nth row. Therefore, the sum of all this, the areas is going to be say n times A plus L. But actually we got n by 2 times A plus L, but remember this sum is actually containing, this sum of all the areas of the rectangle is containing 2 times A plus D plus A plus, because you are adding this is going to give you A plus D, A plus 2D up to L. So, these rectangles only gives the AP addition, and these rectangles are also same, is backwards, this is from top to bottom, is from bottom to top, you get the same thing. Therefore, actually the sum of the APs is actually this is going to be 2S, and actually therefore our S is nothing but sum of the AP, but 2S is the sum of all the areas of the rectangles, which contains the sum of the finite AP terms twice. Therefore, S is going to be n by 2 times A plus L. So, this is a visual representation of sum of all the finite terms of an AP n times. So, one can in fact do for 1, 2, 3, 4 and try to develop for n terms. So, you will get a better idea. Therefore, this is the visual representation of sum of all the finite terms of all the terms of a finite AP. S equals to n by 2 times A plus L. So, we just derived the sum of all the terms of a finite AP of n terms. Okay, but suppose we want to take an AP which is infinite, right? You want to take an AP which is go on proceeding, this is an infinite AP. So, obviously it is not going to contain a finite number of terms, but I want the sum of first n terms, not some n terms, first n terms of an AP, because if you do not use the word first, you are picking some n terms of the AP. Therefore, this is very important. Sum of the first n terms of AP, let us try to find formula. So, it is given by say Sn is equal to n by 2 times, we already know A plus L. So, you can assume that this nth term is going to be say Tn, this is also going to be A plus n minus 1 into D is the nth term, and you may proceed actually so on. But this is almost like a finite AP, because you want to take only this summation. This may be an infinite AP, right? This may be an infinite AP, but if you are going to find the sum of the first n terms of an infinite AP, then this is a finite AP, because this AP is finite, is a part of an infinite AP. Therefore, we can use the same formula what we have used, n by 2 into A plus L, but L is the nth term, right? Because the last term is going to be the nth term here. You are actually, you know the formula for sum of all the terms of a finite AP. You want the sum of the first n terms of AP, which is actually an infinite AP, or it could be a finite AP also. This part is going to be a finite AP, and nth term is A plus n minus 1 into D. That is the last term of term. So this is equivalent to sum of, all the terms of the finite AP, where the last term is nth term. So if you use the formula, you get n by 2 into A plus L. In place of L, you can put Tn. And what is Tn? A plus n minus 1 into T. That is your Tn, right? This can be simplified. Sn is equals to n by 2 into, you can see there is a plus A becomes 2A plus n minus 1 into D. Therefore, sum of the first n terms of an AP can be thought as, whether even if it is an infinite AP, you can think that this is a part of, the finite AP is a part of an infinite AP which contains n terms, and just apply the formula for what we have done for finite AP, and you get the result as Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2A plus n minus 1 into D, where A is the first term, n is the number of terms you are selecting for the first n terms of the AP, and then D is the common difference. So this is the other formula for sum of the first n terms of an AP.